Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are having a good day today. I'm doing all right. Just wanted to come in here and yap, as always, and talk a little bit about a topic that I think isn't explored as much as it should be, um, and that is forgiveness. I believe that forgiveness is incredibly important, and that people tend to hold grudges or stigma or whatever for too long, and that they're wasting their breath, they're wasting their energy on something like that. How I see it personally is I've gotten kind of to a point in my life where I don't really think I have any enemies. I think there are bad people in this world and people that want to do evil things, but I just don't think I don't have it in my heart to hate anybody anymore. I just can't. I feel like that's no way to live, at least for me. I feel like everybody needs to learn to forgive a little bit and to just show a bit more love. You know, obviously in the moment, it's whatever's happening, it's probably pretty difficult, but you know, maybe a few days, weeks, months, years go by. I feel like it's not worth it to just leave it on a sour note, and I feel like the sooner you can do it and kind of get those bad feelings about the person or whatever out, and then just sit down, have like a real conversation with them, be like, I forgive you for what you did. I don't think it was right or whatever, but I forgive you. Now let's move on. Because I feel like people also don't move on. And I think that's also no way to live. Like, gotta keep going, man. I don't know. You get so caught up in things that just don't matter. Like, I watched this video recently where this drunk driver had killed, I believe, 2 or 3 of this guy's daughters. Like, there was a dude who had a few daughters, and they were killed in an accident involving a drunk driver. And they weren't even, like, they were on the street. Like, they were just pedestrians. They weren't driving another car or anything, you know. Solely on the drunk driver, right? And this drunk driver had been in jail for, I believe, 10 years, and he has another 10 years to go. And he's completely changed his life around. He's become a way better person. And, oh shit, my bad. And the father is super close with him. He's buddies with him. He's friends with him. And the guy, the father of the children that got murdered is friends with the guy that killed them, and he forgave him. They pray together now. Like, they talk, they, you know, do all that. And he said that if it was up to him, he'd want him out of jail today, like now, you know. And that, I think, kind of hit me pretty hard, because I feel like there's some people where it's like I've always had this like disdain for them because of something they did or something they said or some way they acted. And I don't know, I've come to realize that it's pointless to just hold that over someone, especially if it's been a long time. Like, I don't know, I feel like you gotta move on with your life, gotta move forward, sit down with them and make it up, you know. Try to understand their side of the story, wherever they may be coming from. And if you can see that especially if you can see that they've made changes to themselves to like try and move beyond this and move forward, I think forgiveness is warranted, you know. I think forgiveness is always warranted, but I think especially in that case, if someone did something and then they're making these strides to keep pushing themselves to like become a better person and to be better and not, like they want to learn from their mistakes and not make that same mistake again. I think forgiveness is a really valuable step, not only in helping you, but also helping them, because it'll help them learn, like, hey, I might have made this mistake, but that's the past, I can also move on to like newer, better things. And yeah, I think it's just an overall positive to forgive somebody for something that they've done. And I think it can be very difficult and very hard, but I think it's super important to be able to sit down with people and have like these real conversations of like, hey, I didn't like this, but it's okay, like, and let them talk through, let them talk through their side of the story, whatever it may be. My bad, I was just making sure my mic is on. But let them talk through their side, whatever that may be, and let them like think through their thoughts as well, because I feel like it's also a good reflection on whatever happened. And maybe it was just a simple misunderstanding, I feel like we have a lot of arguments and fights over very simple misunderstandings that could be avoided or not fixed, but like resolved by just talking about it, being like, hey, I felt this way, and just make it super simple, man. I think everybody that I've ever felt that way about, I've sat down with them and either forgave them, or sometimes they don't realize what they've done, and I don't say it to them. Like, I don't be like, hey, I didn't like this, but I'll forgive them mentally, at least, like even in my own head, to be like, hey, to myself, to be like, hey, they were just, they were going through this, they were going through that, or they felt this way, and like, that's fine, that's fine. Now, I'm not saying to like let people like step all over you kind of thing and deal with horrible people and all that, but I think just leaving room for forgiveness, especially if you're like in a situation that's horrible and hard, and you feel like there's no room for that, but if you were able to like get out of it and stuff, I feel like then, give yourself some room for forgiveness, because I feel like the quicker that you forgive the situation, I mean, I'm not saying to like, move on super fast or whatever, or like skip over all the processing, but once you've processed and you're like, okay, I feel comfortable, I feel ready to forgive this person, then I'd say, go for it, dude. Like, why let it just sit there and be like a stain, Clean up the stain, and y'all can grow together. And maybe that's like, maybe you don't need to grow with this person. Maybe you forgive them and then that's that. Like, you don't ever talk with them again or whatever. But at least you're not holding that grudge and holding that disdain in your heart, because I think it has an impact on people that they don't realize. I think it impacts a lot more things in their life than they may realize. And like day to day, like, you'll just think of it and be like, dang, like, I really hated that moment, I really hate what they did to me or whatever. But I think if you're able to sit down with yourself and process and go through it, be like, all right, like, I know they did this bad thing to me, they did this terrible thing to me, but I'm gonna move forward and move out of that. But yeah, you're like, I'm gonna move forward, move out of that, move onto something new, instead of just holding on to this horrible thing in my heart. And I think this could happen with like a bunch of different scenarios, like if you do something, like I feel like a lot of people do this, where like they do something really embarrassing or really stupid or feel dumb, or like, why did I do that, or it's like awkward or whatever. And I think instead of looking back on it and like, oh, like, I hate that I did that, I hate that this happened, whatever it may be, I try to look back on it and think, oh, that was actually really funny, either that, I like try to make it funny, or I just move forward, let it go, you know? I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, nothing I can ever do is going to ever take anything back that I do. Like, you can't take anything back that you give out. Like, everything that you give to the world, give into the world, whatever it may be, positive, negative, you can't take that back. That is how it is, you know? There's no turning back the clock, whatever, you know? It's not a video game. Can't press Y to rewind like in Forza, you know? But you can take steps to make whatever that situation may be, or whatever that, you know, interaction may have been, to be like, I'm just gonna let it go, man. That's what I've learned to do, and I feel like I'm a lot less hateful. I feel like I used to be pretty resentful over things or situations or whatever, and now, like, in the moment I can still feel a little bit of that way, but once I give myself it doesn't even take that long to like process, but once I give myself some time to process, and I'm like, okay, you know, this happened, that's fine. This happened, and the world keeps spinning. The world's not going to stop for me. And I think just learning that, like, the world's not going to stop for you, so you have to stop for you and take a little bit of time to process. And then get back on your feet, keep going. Because there's things out there you got to go do. Whatever you have on your mind, you got to go get it done. You can't waste that time being like, oh, I should have done this differently, I should have done that differently, because you can't go back and do that differently. Like, yes, learn from it, but you're not going to be able to go back and replay that again and do it actually differently. Like, I guess this goes into kind of no regrets. Like, I live my life with no regrets, and I've done some bad shit, and I've been through some bad shit, and I've had like some not great experiences, and even like long-term not great experiences, and I've been like, you know what, that's life, that happened, I learned from it, I gained from it, and that's okay. Like, overall the experience might have been bad, but what could I get out of this that was good? Or what can I pull from this or learn from this that was good? And I think that's like a very important mindset that people need to adopt, because there's just too much hate going around, man. Like, we don't need to be hating each other, and we don't need to be like assuming these things about people, like all that. Just gotta let some things go, dude. Life gives, life takes, you know? Things come, they go. That's the way life is. Nothing's meant to be permanent. Nothing is meant to be permanent. So, things will come and things will go, such is life. And we have to learn to process that and deal with it in a healthy way. Exert whatever negative energy, turn it into positivity and make it something healthy. It's like fighting fire with fire. It's not going to do anything. If you fight negativity with more negativity, it's only going to get more negative. And if you fight negativity with positivity, maybe you have a chance of turning something around. You know? You never know. Watch, I guarantee you this is going to turn yellow at the least opportune time. That's very surprising. I'm very surprised. Normally it turns yellow like, you know, just too late. It's either like, it's just too late for me to go through it, so then I'd have to brake and lose all my momentum, which makes me mad because I like my fuel economy. But yeah, that's kind of what I have to say on this topic so far. I'm going to keep going here, keep recording for a little bit, because there's a bit of a fun section of road. How much time we got on here? 15 minutes? Okay, cool. But yeah, I just think living with no regrets, I think it also helps you to become a little more worry-free. You're not thinking about the past. You're not worrying about the future. You know? I think just live now. Like, live in the now. You can't change what embarrassing or terrible or dumb thing you did. It happened. You made a mistake. That's okay. Then move forward. See what you can learn from that mistake. See what you can gain from that mistake. See something goofy or funny that you can take from that mistake and just move forward. And make sure to apply it. That's one thing I've also learned is like application of my learnings is very important. Like if I go through a situation that I think is horrible, like apply that learning to something new so I don't have to do that again. Or if I go through something that's good, apply that again to something new so maybe I can make whatever that fun thing is more fun, or maybe make that sucky thing a little less sucky, or whatever, you know? Yeah, that's my whole spiel for today, I guess, is just live. I feel like that's living peacefully, living calmly, living with a free mind, with a calm mind. There's been a lot of news floating around lately. I'm sure you guys all know about everything, but you know, I feel like part of me feels like the world is in a bit of a downward spiral, but part of me also is like, look at all these incredible things that we've either done or that are still here, like nature. Like look at these trees, man. It's so cool. Like, I don't know, I love that. Like, it's like finding joy in simplicity and trying to find happiness despite, you know, there's a whole lot of bad things, but being realistic about what you can do and not worrying about things that are trivial. I was having a conversation with a professor recently about worrying about trivial things and making it a problem. I'm like, to me, the way my brain works is if I know that there's nothing I can do to solve the problem, then I'm just not going to worry about it, dude. Like, I'm just wasting time worrying about something that I know I can't fix or know I can't change, you know? It's trivial problems. Or it just doesn't matter enough. Like, worry about more important things to you, you know? Yeah. It's also deciding what's important to you. Like how this all came from forgiveness. I think I kind of rambled, but, you know, I think it all kind of starts with forgiving people, forgiving yourself as well. Forgiving yourself is also super important. Like I was saying, like for the bad things that you've done, for the embarrassing things that you've done, just forgive yourself. Like, take it easy on yourself. Life is going to beat you up enough. Why do you have to beat yourself up too, you know? So, that'll be fun. Nice little Oktoberfest thing. Or not Oktoberfest. Maybe Oktoberfest. What's that thing called? Fall Festival. That's what it's called. Welcome to the old road where me and my buddies used to push our shit boxes for top speed runs. I love this road. What is that? What are you? It's a Merc. No, it's not a Merc. It's, are those Crossfires? Is that what those are called? There he goes. But, yeah. The gist of my talk. Forgive yourself, man. Take it easy. No reason to have so much hate inside. The past is the past. It's not going to change. The future, you can change that. Depending on how you think and how you feel. And how you approach things. Having a good attitude about things, even if you're not the biggest fan of it. Just approach things with joy. Try to live with joy. Because who knows when the last days are, man? I don't know. I could have another 100 years depending on how technology goes or whatever. but I could also die in 5 minutes. I hope not, but you never know. So try to be happy, because you never know what could happen. Just, I don't know if you could see those ducks on camera when I did, but that's the things I love, man. Very simple, man. I'm a very simple human. I enjoy nature. I enjoy simple things. I enjoy life. It sucks a lot, but there's also a lot of good. There's a lot of good. Well, I think we are about at time on the battery here, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's little video, little ramble. Yeah, just take it easy, let yourself breathe, forgive yourself, forgive others, and just love yourself and love others too, man. Super important. I feel like there's no reason not to love, and there's no reason to hate. So just try to live with no enemies, bro. Try to live with no energy, and not no energy. I can't even think, bro. Try to live with no enemies, and just take it easy. If you guys have any idea for topics, I always appreciate suggestions. Things you guys feel like I can yap about. This is all very experimental times. I am just trying things out, seeing what sticks. I also really appreciate the views. Like, the views have been kind of crazy for me, like my level, you know. They've been consistently higher than normal as soon as I started doing this kind of content, which is really fun. So I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. There was a kid looking at me through the pilot. That's funny. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. I'll see you in the next clip or video or whatever I decide to post. Probably a long-term video or long-form video like this, but yeah. If you made it this far, thank you very much. I will see you guys soon.